Ladies and gentlemen, it's truly an honor to join you on this momentous occasion. As Colonel-in-Chief of the Royal Logistic Corps, we gather today to mark what I believe is the end of a truly significant era. Much will change, but I hope the soul and spirit that define the Royal Logistic Corps will remain unshaken. In what could only be described as the final chapter of the longest birthday celebration in royal history, a grand banquet unfolded inside Buckingham Palace. Crystal chandeliers sparkled overhead, casting their golden glow across a dining hall filled with Britain's elite. The air was electric with anticipation. It was during this prestigious royal event that Princess Anne, the Princess Royal, stood to make a speech that would send shockwaves through the monarchy. Her voice, strong, steady, and filled with purpose, commanded the room. What she said next would alter the royal family's future forever. With calm grace, she announced her retirement from public duties, but it was her next sentence that truly stunned the room. She named Catherine, the Princess of Wales, as her successor. This wasn't just a ceremonial gesture, it was a torch being passed from one royal titan to another, a breathtaking and inevitable moment. Princess Anne, long respected for her relentless work ethic and no-nonsense nature, had been the monarchy's backbone for decades. Her decision to step down wasn't merely about age or exhaustion, it was a deliberate move to reshape the future, and all eyes turned to Catherine. Still recovering from a harrowing cancer battle, Catherine was stepping back into the public eye, only now, she wasn't just returning, she was ascending. Whispers rippled through palace halls and royal insider circles alike. This was the moment they had all been waiting for. Catherine wasn't just back, she was leading. Why now? Why did Anne choose this exact moment to make such a defining decision? And what does this transition mean for the royal family's future? Let's dive into the story that has the world watching. The announcement came on June 18, 2025. During a grand state banquet honoring international diplomats. Dressed in an elegant navy gown, Anne stood poised, her signature blend of dry humor and authority shining through. "I've spent my life serving this institution," she said with quiet conviction. "But the time has come for me to step aside and let the next generation take the reins." She turned to Catherine, seated nearby, and with a respectful nod added, "The Princess of Wales has shown strength, grace, and an unwavering commitment to duty. I have no doubt she will carry this work forward with the same passion." Applause thundered through the hall, yet beneath the smiles and raised glasses, a palpable sense of awe hung in the air. Catherine, who had only recently returned to public life, was now the royal family's new cornerstone. To grasp the magnitude of Anne's retirement, we must understand the woman behind the title. Often hailed as the monarchy's hardest-working royal, Princess Anne has been a steadfast force for over 50 years. Now 74, she's clocked in thousands of engagements, from opening hospitals to championing charities like Save the Children. Her preference for practicality over pomp, think sensible coats and recycled outfits, made her relatable. Her razor-sharp wit and unflinching dedication earned her respect. She was the royal who never craved the spotlight, but always showed up when it counted. Anne's journey was anything but smooth. As Queen Elizabeth II's only daughter, she carved a path in a traditionally male-dominated institution. She became an Olympic equestrian, displaying her grit on the global stage, and later served as a trusted advisor to her brother King Charles. Her resilience stood tall in personal trials too, from her divorce from Captain Mark Phillips to her recovery after a horse-related injury in June 20. Just weeks later, she returned to her duties with a visible black eye and characteristic determination. That's Anne, unflappable, dependable, fiercely committed. Still, the timing of her retirement caught many off guard. Yes, royal watchers had speculated about her slowing pace, especially after she missed Royal Ascot's second day in 2025 due to prior commitments in Scotland. But no one expected a full retreat. Insiders revealed that Anne had been quietly preparing for this transition for months, consulting closely with King Charles and Catherine. Her decision wasn't about stepping away from duty, it was about entrusting it to someone who shared her values. And in Catherine, Anne saw a kindred spirit, duty-bound, quietly strong, and deeply resilient. If Anne's retirement was the earthquake, then Catherine's rise was the aftershock that reshaped everything. Catherine's recent journey is nothing short of remarkable. Diagnosed with cancer in March 2024, she endured a grueling treatment that pulled her away from royal duty. Her announcement in September 2024 that she'd completed chemotherapy brought global relief. By January 2025, she shared that she was in remission. But Catherine didn't simply return to royal life, she redefined it. Royal sources say she spent her time in recovery deeply reflecting on her role and purpose. She didn't want to just go back to how things were. one insider shared. She wanted to make a real impact. Her appearances at Trooping the Color and the Order of the Garter in June 2025 were no coincidence. They were chosen with care, signaling not just a return, but a rise. Even her last-minute withdrawal from Royal Ascot on June 18 raised concerns, until it was revealed that she had prioritized her health. That decision only deepened the public's admiration. And then, on that very day, Anne's retirement became official. Catherine stepped into her new role. Their bond runs deeper than titles. Anne and Catherine share a profound belief in practical service over grandeur. During Catherine's illness, Anne reportedly visited her in private, offering words of encouragement and guidance. Anne saw the same steel in Catherine that she carries herself, said one palace insider. She knew Catherine could handle this. Now Catherine isn't simply filling Anne's shoes, she's redefining what it means to be a modern royal. At the banquet, as Anne spoke, emotion shimmered in Catherine's eyes. King Charles, seated at the table's head, offered a subtle but proud nod. This wasn't just a passing of duties, it was a symbolic moment, one that carried the weight of legacy. Anne's trust in Catherine wasn't just an endorsement, it was a transfer of belief. It was like watching a relay runner pass the baton, one guest later shared. Anne wasn't just letting go, she was lifting Catherine up. Behind closed doors, this handover had been quietly orchestrated for months. Anne and Catherine met privately at Gatcombe Park, Anne's Gloucestershire estate, to plan the transition. But these weren't merely strategic meetings. They were heartfelt exchanges about public service, motherhood, and managing the weight of expectation. Still recovering, Catherine leaned heavily on Anne's wisdom. Focus on what matters most, the people you serve and the family you love, Anne told her. That advice has become Catherine's North Star, reflected in every warm interaction, every authentic smile, every hands-on moment with her children. During the Order of the Garter ceremony on June 16, 2025, the public caught a glimpse of their bond. Catherine and Anne were seen chatting with animated ease. Experts noted their relaxed body language, a mark of deep respect and trust. For Catherine, taking over Anne's duties is not just a role, it's a vow, and for Anne, stepping back is not a farewell, it's a chance to witness Catherine shine. So what does it mean for Catherine to step into this immense legacy? It's more than just adding royal engagements to her calendar. Princess Anne managed over 300 patronages, from Save the Children to the Royal Agricultural Society. Catherine, already linked to influential organizations like Action for Children and the Royal Foundation, is now inheriting many of these causes, a responsibility that demands both emotional intelligence and logistical skill. Her first major attending the Royal Highland Show in Edinburgh, a heartfelt nod to Anne's enduring relationship with the Royal Highland Agricultural Society. But this is just the beginning. Catherine is bringing her own essence to the table. Anne's precision and pragmatism, yes, but fused with her own warmth and relatability. Where Anne was brisk, Catherine lingers. Where Anne delivered, Catherine connects. From mental health to early childhood development, and now cancer awareness, her causes are deeply personal, shaped by her lived experiences. During a recent children's hospice visit, she didn't just smile for the cameras, she listened, she held hands, she empathized. She's not trying to be Anne, one royal aide remarked. She's building on that foundation, but she's doing it her way. Catherine's new role doesn't just elevate her, it redefines her influence. With King Charles managing his own health and Prince William balancing fatherhood and royal duty, Catherine is becoming the monarchy's anchor, and that's exactly what the future may depend on. Catherine's decision to limit international travel in 2025 reflects her new balancing act, focusing on UK-based duties while managing personal priorities. Still, the weight on her shoulders is massive. Royal commentators predict she'll use her expanded platform to push for systemic change, potentially advocating for stronger mental health support and cancer research, causes that could redefine the monarchy's role in a world growing increasingly skeptical of its relevance. But Catherine's rise is not just about taking on more responsibility, it represents a broader evolution. The monarchy, long criticized as outdated or disconnected, needs figures like her to stay relevant. Through campaigns like Shaping Us, aimed at early childhood development, she's already begun forging a powerful link between past traditions and future generations. Anne's retirement didn't just hand Catherine a torch, it gave her a megaphone. She's not just continuing Anne's legacy, a palace insider shared, she's igniting something new, a fire that could change how we see the royals altogether. This isn't just a job for Catherine, it's an opportunity to redefine royalty in the modern world. The ripple effect of Anne stepping down doesn't stop with Catherine. it's shifting the entire royal family's dynamics. With only 11 working royals, the pressure is mounting. The strain was especially evident during Royal Ascot 2025, when Anne and Catherine's absence stirred concerns about a dwindling monarchy. Catherine's expanded role acts as a stabilizing force, filling crucial gaps while also repositioning her as the family's central figure. Her calm presence, grounded demeanor, and forward-thinking style are offering much-needed consistency during a period of royal transformation. This shift also places a new spotlight on Prince William. As the Prince of Wales, his public schedule has been lighter, focusing more on environmental initiatives like the Earthshot Prize. Critics have taken note, but Catherine's growing presence allows him to rely more on her as a partner, sharing the public load while he prepares for his future role as king. Their united front was unmistakable at Trooping the Colour on June. Their warm glances and synchronized presence signaled a deep mutual reliance. Insiders say William is incredibly proud of Catherine, especially after her health battle. He sees her not just as a wife or mother, but as a co-leader in modernizing the monarchy. Meanwhile, King Charles, who is also dealing with his own health challenges, is becoming increasingly reliant on Catherine's public presence. Their shared experiences with cancer have brought them closer. At Trooping the Colour, Charles's beaming smile toward Catherine from the palace balcony spoke volumes, an unspoken message of trust and gratitude. Anne's retirement has prompted deep reflection for Charles. Sources close to the palace say he's thankful for Catherine's readiness to step in. Her warmth and relatability, especially when engaging with children's charities, align perfectly with his vision for a monarchy that evolves without losing its soul. Though the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh are also stepping up, it's Catherine who's fast becoming the public's favorite. That kind of visibility carries immense responsibility, and it's reshaping even the most personal aspects of her life. Catherine remains a devoted mother to Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. Her parenting mirrors Princess Anne's practical style, hands-on, grounded, and private. At Kensington Palace, she instills a sense of duty in her children while shielding them from overwhelming media attention. Charlotte, now 10, already exhibits her mother's composure, seen most recently in her poised wave during the Order of the Garter ceremony. Palace insiders say Catherine is teaching her children to serve with purpose, not entitlement, a value Anne also passed on to her own children. George, as the future king, looks up to his mother as a living example of courage and resilience. Louis, ever playful and full of life, is gently guided by her steady hand. These moments, quiet, unseen by most, are where Catherine's strength is forged. Yet in the public eye, perceptions are shifting. Her battle with cancer, followed by her triumphant return, has elevated her to something more than a royal. She's become a global symbol of hope and resilience. But stepping into Anne's shoes raises the stakes. On social media, the reaction to the Banquet announcement was immediate. Admirers praised her grace, but critics questioned whether she could match Anne's legendary work ethic. That's the tightrope she now walks, balancing her empathetic, modern approach with the relentless pace Anne mastered. Her choice to miss Royal Ascot for a school-related event drew both praise and scrutiny. For many, it was a refreshing sign that family comes first. But traditionalists weren't as kind, viewing it as a breach of royal commitment. This tension between old and new is the monarchy's greatest test, and Catherine stands right at its center. Even the extended royal circle is beginning to respond to the shift. Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, often left on the sidelines, are reportedly eager to support Catherine. Beatrice in particular has increased her charity work in 2025, aiming to relieve some of the burden. Meanwhile, the absence of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle underscores just how central Catherine has become. Anne's retirement has set off a complete recalibration of royal role. Catherine is the anchor, William is her partner, Charles is the guiding patriarch, all navigating an institution on the brink of reinvention. As the applause from Anne's retirement speech fades into memory, one truth remains: Catherine, the Princess of Wales, is now the guiding light of the monarchy. Her journey from a heartbreaking cancer diagnosis to her emergence as the monarchy's leading figure is a story that reaches far beyond palace gates. Anne's decision to step aside wasn't a retreat, it was an act of vision, of trust, a belief in the future. Catherine isn't just holding Anne's torch, she's illuminating a new path, a path woven with tradition and compassion, duty and humanity, strength, and vulnerability. Already, her vision for this new era is taking shape. Palace sources say she's planning initiatives that merge her own passions, mental health, childhood development, cancer awareness, with Anne's legacy of grounded community-based service. One project rumored to be in the works, expanding access to rural healthcare, a nod to Anne's agricultural advocacy and Catherine's own health journey. At the Royal Highland Show in July 2025, Catherine is expected to unveil her first major patronage under this new role, a moment royal fans are already marking on their calendars. What sets her apart is her approach. Catherine isn't showing up with declarations, she's showing up to listen, to understand, to lead by example. Her warmth doesn't dilute her sense of duty, it enhances it. And it couldn't come at a more critical time. In an era where the very existence of the monarchy is under a global microscope, Catherine is building something new, a bond with younger generations forged in authenticity. Her openness about her cancer battle, especially the heartfelt video shared in 2020, she's become someone people relate to, root for, believe in. Observers predict she'll use her newfound influence to modernize the monarchy's operations, potentially expanding digital outreach or leaning into sustainability, causes close to King Charles's heart. She sees the monarchy as a force for good, said one palace aide, but she also knows it has to evolve, or risk becoming irrelevant. And through it all, she remains grounded. At home, she's still the mom who runs the school drop-off, reads bedtime stories, and offers gentle reassurance with a loving hand on Louis's back. Those are the moments that shape her, the ones that define her leadership more than any banquet speech ever could. So where does it all lead? Will Catherine streamline the monarchy's sprawling patronages? Will she mentor the next generation of royals like Beatrice or even Charlotte? Time will tell. But one thing is certain, she's ready. Her story, forever intertwined with Princess Anne's, is one of quiet power and unwavering presence. A story that reminds us that sometimes the most transformative leaders don't demand attention. They simply show up when it matters most. What's your favorite moment from Catherine's journey? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more royal stories that inspire and support.